Let's take a look at Google Add-ons and what they can do for you. So you have created a document or you have documents already in your Google Drive and you want to access the add-ons feature. When you go into that document, you will see your toolbar up here and menu bar, and from here you can see that you have a section called add-ons. And right now we don't have any add-ons on our paper, so we're going to click Get Add-ons. Now you will see that you have tons of different add-ons that are relevant to Google Docs, and you can filter these by looking here if you wanted business tools, education tools, tools for productivity, any different type of add-on you might find. But let's look here. So our first one we have is Google Translate, and this will add on directly to your doc for quick translation. And let's just add it so that we can see what it looks like, and then we'll go through a couple others. And in order to add an add-on, you click here, and what you can do is you can pop up the add-on and you can read about it. You can get an overview, you can get ratings if there are some, and all you need to do in order to get the add-on to your document is click where it says free, assuming it's free. We click on it and you will probably get a pop-up that requests for permission, and what that's saying is we'd like access to this document, and I'm going to go ahead and click accept. So once that's done and it's working, it is going to tell me that it is in the add-ons panel, and I can go ahead and click add-ons, and here you can see I have the Translate add-on. Now I also have another option called Manage Add-ons. And with this, what I can do is I can click on it and I can say, I'd like to manage this. I would like to use it in this document, or I'd like to remove it. If after some time it hasn't worked for you, or it's not something that you feel is applicable to what you're doing, you can remove it. Or I can report an issue if there happens to be some sort of an issue, because remember, not all add-ons or technology are perfect. Let's just go back to the Get Add-ons real quick so I can show you a couple other things. You can see that I have add-ons that create tables of contents. I have EasyBib. I have a thesaurus that I can use as an add-on. There are some things for math. There's charts. Lucidchart is a very popular add-on, and it allows you to create mind maps and diagrams very quickly and easily in Google Docs. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add that one as well. And you can always read these permissions if you don't feel comfortable. That can be something that you choose not to use. And oops, that's already popped up for us. I'm going to go back one more time to Get Add-ons, and you can scroll through this however you want to. There are tons of them. There are some that tell you how many users have them. Obviously the ones that have a lot more users are ones that probably have proven to be a little bit more effective. An add-on that only has a few users, you might want to look at what the ratings say. This one has 3 stars. That doesn't necessarily mean it was bad. It just might not be most effective for what you're trying to do. And it's really hard to pin down the types of add-ons you might want because there are so many. It doesn't hurt to do a Google search and say, what are the most popular add-ons or what are the best add-ons. I'm going to go into education real quick. And you can see it's now narrowed down to just add-ons that are meant to be for educational purposes. Another great one is this one called Kaizena, and what that does is it allows you to give audio feedback to your students right on a Google Doc. And being that we were talking about feedback, that's certainly something we want to look into. So let's start with our add-ons. How we use them is we simply click on the add-ons button and we pick the add-on we want to use. I'm going to go ahead and open Kaizena, and I might have to log in, so we're just going to see what happens. And you can see that it's working here. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Typically we will get a pop-up on the right hand side, and I'm going to say I'm a teacher, and I don't have any classes right now, so I'm going to type in Eden Prairie Schools, and hopefully we get some information here. Type in English, just so I get something going on, grade level, and you'll probably only have to do this once. And we're going to click continue, and we're going to type, for this document, are you giving feedback to students or receiving it? So I'm going to go ahead and type I'm giving feedback, and I'm going to say who is receiving the feedback. And what you will get here is you will get a list of the people that this document is shared with, and I could say I'm going to give this to Kim Christensen, or I'm going to give this here. You just need to select 1 or 2 people or several and click continue. And what will happen is you will highlight some part of the document. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to highlight this part. Let's see. And then I'm going to click on new feedback, and it's going to allow me to give feedback. And as you can see, I can give audio feedback, I can write a comment, or I can link to something else, which I think is really great. If you want to hyperlink them to something else, you can also do that in the comments feature of Google Docs. But if I want to give audio feedback, I just go ahead and click on it, and I have to click allow, and I'm going to click start recording, and you can see that right now it is actually recording what I'm saying over this comment right here. I'm going to go ahead and click stop. It's going to process for a little bit. And then what I've done is I've added now audio feedback, and I can go ahead and play it and listen to it, and the student can then receive that feedback on their paper. So it's a great feature to use for giving a different type of feedback, because we know that text feedback isn't always the best. And you can see that feedback now lives on that document. Let's go to translate. If I click start, I can go ahead and I can select the part of text that I want, and C, and I can click translate, and it's automatically detecting it and apparently into Japanese. So let's change that into Spanish and click translate, and there we go. Now we have another way to translate that document, which would be great if you are working with parents that speak different languages. It just gives you another way to communicate with them. And once you've translated it, you can also insert that translation into your document, should it be something that you actually want to use in the document. We're not going to use it right now, so I'm just going to click close. And I'll go into Lucidchart diagram. And here we are able to get started. We have to sign in with our Google account in order to use Lucidchart. And we have to allow it to have access. And essentially what you'll do is you'll be able to create a diagram. So a flow chart, let's see, I mean, there's all different types of floor plan, great for some of those tech ed classes, some sort of mind map. You can put in, there's a couple that require pro accounts, so I'm not going to focus on those, but if I wanted to create a Venn diagram, I could click on Venn diagram, and I can go ahead, as it's loading here, I would be able to, and here's the, oh, let's skip the tips. Here now I can change the text, do what I need to, save and close, and I can then go ahead and put that into my documents, or I can share it with others. It just gives us another way to add something into our Google Doc. And let's see, save and close that. And here's our diagram that we've created. Assuming we like it, we can click insert. And it will take a second, but it is now inserted into our document here. This is really a fantastic tool for any class, but if you think about science classes, or if you're doing some brainstorming, you just think about all the possibilities. You can even do a blank one where the students can decide what it looks like. Some sort of organizational chart. It gives you a really quick and easy way to add this kind of diagram or this kind of flow into a Google Doc and still make it look effective. So those are just 3 add-ons. Obviously, as you can see in the Get Add-ons section, there are several add-ons we could put on our docs, but I encourage you to try out add-ons. Go in there and find a couple that you think might work for your class. Play around with them using the Google Doc, obviously, before you roll those out with students or even with your colleagues. But what a great way to add things into our docs that maybe we couldn't do simply by typing.